Alec, what's up? You want to come on a jungle cruise with me and
Yeah,
rock?
I'm gonna. I've been to Disney World. And I don't think I went on the Jungle Cruise when I did it, and so I feel like
Oh,
I'm
that's a
missing.
shame. We're
I'm.
missing the good
I
perspective
was, I was
here.
gonna say, am I missing important context for the Jungle Cruise? I feel like the actual Jungle Cruise was sort of joked about in the first scene with The Rock.
Hmm.
I feel like that
Yeah.
was like part of his stupid like puns and stuff. I felt like that felt to me like that was what happens in Jungle Cruise. Like the guide is like kind of buffoonish, like knows what he's doing, but
You think
he's
that's what it
also
is?
punning.
Yeah, I could
I
see
think
that.
that's my guess
That'd
based
be
on
fun.
other Disney rides where there's like a guide there. Um,
That'd
that was kind of my guess.
be
Uh,
fun.
yeah.
So, what did you think of Jungle Cruise?
So I was able to watch it with one of my housemates. He came home, it was maybe like 25 minutes into the movie, and it was the scene where The Rock was fighting a cheetah, and I was like, The Rock is fighting a cheetah, and he was like, all right, I gotta sit down
Oh
and watch this
my
movie,
god!
and I was like, it was great. So I said to him, and he was like in complete agreement. I was like, that this movie was so much fun. It was not a very good movie, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't like good or great, but it was a lot of fun. I had a good time watching it. I watched it again. I just had so much fun watching the movie, and it's kind of fun to sort of turn your brain off. Some of the stuff didn't really make sense, but
Wow.
I
Wow.
I just had fun. It was a good, fun summer movie. It felt like the first Pirates, except not nearly as good. Yeah,
That's crazy. I'm almost the exact same opinion. That's like where I'm
yeah,
at. Where
yeah.
it's like when I watched it in theaters. When I got out of there, I was like,
Oh, so lucky.
I don't know if that was a good movie. I can't tell, but
Yeah,
I know it was fun. It was
yeah.
a fun time.
It was fun.
And
Yeah, I don't
and
necessarily think it was. Yeah,
I
I don't know
definitely
if it was
got
good.
Pirates of the Caribbean vibes like all throughout.
Oh my
It's like,
god, yeah, like the friggin' intro. I was like, oh my god, Pirates of the
and then
Caribbean, step aside. We got a newcomer here.
and then when Aguirre starts coming out with all this like movement around on his
Yeah,
face,
and the
Jesus,
snakes. Yeah, I was like, wow,
that's
this.
right there.
So we got undead pirates. Okay, so it is Pirates of the Caribbean.
There was
Um,
some there's some interesting parts of this movie. Um, I actually really liked the whole intro with the puns and stuff. I thought it was fun.
oh
He
yeah, no,
he was
I
doing the
agree.
stupid puns,
Yeah,
and then I loved how he was like set up this whole thing to make it look like it's a dangerous cruise and everything.
yeah.
It's all basically like he's a con artist. Is basically what they start establishing from the beginning,
Hmm.
and then that comes into into play at a couple of different points.
Yeah, pretty much throughout the movie we get to see that, and it's fun because it's just like an integral part of his character. Frank, our boat cruiseman, played by The Rock, and can you think of a more likable actor than The Rock? He's just like one of the most likable people. Like every
Well,
time he's on screen in any movie, I'm like,
but he's beefing with Vin Diesel behind the scenes apparently.
oh, is he really?
Like they
Oh.
can't work together on the Fast and the Furious
I
apparently.
saw something about
And
that.
then
Yeah, what's
he
the deal with
said
that?
he's not going to be in the last two movies, and
Oh,
it's
come
presumably
on.
because of their freaking ego beef they got going on.
Oh my gosh, really? Come on. I mean, Vin Diesel does kind of come across as a bit of a dick, but I don't know anything. I don't watch Vin Diesel movies, so people can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
The
why.
Rock has always been terribly likable. So to me,
He always like
ever since I saw him in the Rundown, I was like, dang, he can actually kind of act. I was like, this is great.
I did not expect. Well, first of all, I thought this movie was like way better than I ever thought it would be. I was going into it thinking, oh, this is gonna be horrible. This is like Doolittle vibes, something like that.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be our bad movie. It's like we need a bad movie. This we talked about too many good movies this year.
yeah.
It was like, oh, there's no way this is good, right? Like I didn't know what to expect though. There was no because it's not like a live action remake
Mm.
where I knew the source material we're going from.
It's based on a
So
theme park ride, the Disney
yeah,
ride, the Jungle Cruise.
so it might as well be a complete wild card at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah,
on
and
the
I think
surface.
I think a lot of that, I think you could kind of rest on Emily Blunt and The Rock's shoulders, Dwayne Johnson's shoulders. I think they were just wonderful together in this movie. They just had so much chemistry. She was just.
You were into the love story.
I was. You know what? I feel like I'm gonna get on a little bit of soapbox here. I feel like there's oftentimes these days there's like a little bit too much of a, oh well, we can't have, we need to give girls confidence that they don't, they shouldn't, everything shouldn't be about a man, at the end of the day. And it's like, okay, I can get behind that, but I feel like that we're sort of like getting less and less like a sort of like a love story element, because it's like, it's all about the love story. But like this movie did a pretty good job, I thought, of painting a good picture of her as kind of like, she's very, I mean, she is definitely like independent woman, which is very unusual for early 20th century. Pants. They literally called her Pants. Yeah. That's super out of the ordinary for like 1916, I think is when the movie takes place. So that is like a running joke for most of the movie, or a running like thing. But I don't know. I really thought they had a nice little charming romance subplot there. And I liked that a lot. I was like, not enough. It feels like not enough movies these days have anything like that. Like, really, you think about it, like most of the Marvel films like feel kind of sexless in a way. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that they need to have like, oh, we have sex in these movies, but they feel like, by that I just mean that there's no like tension. There's very few of those movies that have that kind of
sexual
element.
Tension?
Yeah, sexual tension or romantic sort of tension.
Wow.
And like, they're great. I mean, I love the Marvel films, but like I think that's why like I like Guardians. They always have that like flirtation with Star-Lord and Gamora. Doctor Strange even has like a love story element to it, but like most of the movie isn't really even about that, so it's like it's hard to really even count it. Thor's got it. Thor's,
your sexual attention. You get your sexual attention in Thor.
You can get it, yeah. So you can get it in a few places, I suppose, in Marvel, but it's just like, it's always like it's never a central tenet. It's always kind of like on the back burner and maybe like a little sort of mentioned element. Like in this one, it was like part of the main plot. It was like this little relationship, love story. It was nice.
Well, first of all, I didn't expect him to be like 400 years old. I never really expected that to be where it was going.
Okay, yeah. So let's get deep into spoilers here. So there was some. I think I saw that twist coming when he died. The first time when he got stabbed and then fell down there, I was like, okay, he's going to be like one of these people or something. There's going to be some twist where he's like, he's super ancient for some reason as well. Like he's cursed. And then sure enough, that was the case. And I was like, okay.
Super piracy from that point on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The curse. I'm cursed. Bro, we need to talk about the scene where it was
the flashback scene.
The sword. When he had the sword inside him, the scene between him and Emily Blunt's character.
Oh yeah,
that was a choice.
That was a choice.
I was so surprised. In Disney's Jungle Cruise, that there was like 8 sexual innuendos, and it just got more and more sexual as it went on.
Wow. It was great. Wow. yeah, it was great. That scene was really funny.
I know you wanted sexual attention in Disney all your life, but but I didn't expect it. He was like, or she was like, one hand or 2 hands. What do you want? And
he was like, don't say. He was kind of like,
And then he's like, oh, I think you're gonna need to use 2. You're gonna need to use 2. And then the other character, the guy is like, do you want to bite down on my stick?
Oh yeah, do you want to bite down on my stick?
And then Frank's like, this is your first time, right? And it just kept piling on. I was like, wow. After the first one, I was like, did they mean it that way? But then it's just like they kept going with it. And
yeah,
it's like, okay,
they did.
This is what we're doing.
They piled it on, a little bit on that.
They just stopped the movie for a little bit just to have this whole thick sexual attention scene.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. It was.
I thought it was excessive, but it's all right.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, maybe there was a more of that than I thought, because I knew there was that like that scene was like had that.
Well, my
But
brother was saying,
like,
he didn't even notice half of that. I'm like, how did you not notice? I was like, I was watching after that first part, and it was like, oh, the next one, that's a sexual innuendo. Oh, there's another one.
I mean, I got the first few, but I didn't realize it kept going after. Like, I got the like to the you want to bite down on my stick. I was like, okay, yikes.
He was talking about how this is your first time, and he's like, oh, that's a little rough. This is your first time pulling a sword out of a guy, right? It's like, okay, we're doing this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they went there.
I just thought it was interesting.
They did that.
They did. And then they did a whole kiss air exchange.
Yeah, which
underwater.
Is like, that doesn't work, by the way.
I was like, that's not how that works.
It's not how that works, but it was cute. I was like, all right, I get it.
They kept her alive?
Yeah, somehow.
How are you letting the air out? You can't. It's not that precise.
You have to create such a vacuum feel with their lips. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
You'd just be losing more air, and then you just have all water. Like they just have all water in the mouth.
I mean, he can't die, so.
Yeah, but it was okay. They get them to kiss, and it was cute. Because she pulled away at first. She was like, "Oh, chill, I'm dying."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There were so many like weird like physical humor bits in this that I thought were really funny. There was stuff with that. There was like because it was like she recoiled back, and there was one time she was going in and he like bonked his head. Like there was just like stuff like that was like kind of goofy and silly, and it was like that was just like
kinda
this movie's
hot. Okay, so. She did call Frank an onion of deceit. I saw that. Shout out to us Shrek fans.
Yeah, there's a
Shrek, so many layers.
Shrek shout out right there.
Appreciated that. Oh, and the whole arrangement when they going along, and then there's the what are they like I don't remember what he called them, but these people where he pretended they were being like abducted by the locals of this jungle. How did he arrange this? When and how was my question. Because he said it was like pre-arranged. He didn't have time to call it off, is what he was saying.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like trying to figure it out. And
like it's not like you can call someone up and just have it arranged. Like he had to have arranged it so long ago.
Maybe it was like if I ever come out here again with, but I don't know.
Always on standby.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if I ever come out along this way and there's people like expedition people, we're gonna do this con. Yeah.
But you have to always just be ready to perform. I thought that was wild.
That was pretty wild, yeah.
What was the name of I'm bad with names in general. The only name I can remember is Frank and Aguirre.
Yeah, Frank and Aguirre,
There was also the guy, the bite down on my stick fella.
Yeah, so Lily was her name, or Pants. And he was... I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
So it was her brother, and she and him were on the expedition. He was just a foppish British man.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm here for it. I like the fact that we have a C-3PO character here. Right, it's very goofy and silly and fun.
He was okay. I liked that he was a fan of his puns, though. That's like the one connection they had.
That was good, yeah. So one thing I want to talk about this movie also, the very uneven special effects. The special effects were sometimes, especially in like sets and environments, were usually pretty great. Most of the other effects were really bad.
The leopard.
The leopard did not look good.
The leopard really bothered me from the beginning. I hated looking at it.
The leopard did not really look good. The first scene it was in, it looked okay, but then as you kept looking, and there was like little close-ups on it. I was like, I don't know about that. There was also some like weird, like color correct. Like it was weird. There was this one scene, it was at night, where Frank was like playing the guitar, and he looked like he was glowing blue, and there was no blue light anywhere. And I was like, did they do something wrong with the color correction or something? Because he was like glowing blue. And I was like, there's no blue light here. I don't know what's going on. So I was like, wow, that's on a set. That's on like a sound stage somewhere that they're filming this. There's like a lot of stuff like that where the close-up shots look kind of like all sorts of whack. Overall, the environments look pretty good. There were some moments where they look pretty bad as well. But so yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting because it almost made it feel more like schmaltzy, and like, yeah, I'm sure Disney threw tons of money at this movie, but like it made it feel like it had a lower budget, and like not even Disney's completely invulnerable here, and even they have stuff that looks kind of garbo sometimes, and kind of added to its charm in a way.
It's like Jungle Cruise. It's like an amusement park.
Yeah.
So they were trying to give off that vibe. It was clearly intentional.
I don't think that was at all. I think the movie should have looked better, but
I thought the cast was interesting. I didn't know anything about the cast other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I thought Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti just showing up and just chewing the scenery, and every second he's on screen is fun. That was kind of wild.
Oh, and Jesse Plemons.
Yes.
Dude, the way he just murdered those people when they found out
I know.
His name. And then at the end, when he was so hesitant to kill, I'm like, why is he not killing these? He's just gonna kill these people. There's no reason he's got any reason to keep them alive. Like, kill Lily and whatnot. But they ended up using the information, so I was like, okay. They wanted them for information, but I was like, this guy will kill you if you know his name. So he's not hesitant to kill anybody.
But at the same time, it's like when she made the deal, it was like, oh yeah, I'll kill him to get one of the petals. It's like when she does it, he's like wow, he's got kind of a lot of respect. He's like, wow, she's pretty cool, just like me. Cool. Yeah, he was kind of wild. He was a goofy.
He was like the
character.
extra, like over the top villain, like like hair flipping out and whatnot.
The fact that we had like a German U-boat sailing in like in the freaking like river, I was like, come on, the water's not clear. I mean, I guess to be fair, for the most part, they would like when they were actually traveling, they were above water because you got periscope, I guess, but river's not going to be a deep enough place for a U-boat to go anywhere. So that was a little like, okay, that's an interesting choice, I guess, but they really wanted to be like, he's the German in World War I, and he's trying to get information so that he can make the German army live forever. So it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, we didn't even mention the whole plot is like them trying to seek out this petal.
So yeah, there's like this mystical, magical petal that can basically like heal wounds, and it's kind of like the Fountain of Youth in a way, but it's more like a regenerative sort of thing.
So even in that sense, it's very similar to Pirates. It's like you're going after that special treasure thing.
Yes, a treasure, kind of thing, and
that'll like help break their curse potentially as well.
Mm-hmm. So,
but so her whole thing the whole time was that she wants to spark a scientific revolution, and she wants to save so many lives from this. And ultimately the resolution is that love is more important. Love, baby. So she spends that petal to bring back Frank when he gets stonified.
I mean, they could have theoretically brought that tree back again. They had the means to, but that would have been like another month or whatever, them just waiting around for that. So I don't know.
Well, I was thinking when Frank like sacrificed himself in a couple points, I'm like, how is she ever going to get out of there? It seems like she would never be able to get her way out of that place without him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the resolution. I get the plot line was that they're talking about how all you need is like one person who really cares about you, and that's world enough for me. They say stuff like that a few times. But I mean, ultimately we save Frank's life, 400-year-old life, instead of being able to save millions of others like she wanted to. I don't know if that's a fair trade, but I guess true love trumps all.
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, it's sort of in a way like what was more important at the end. Not as good a comparison, because I think Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade does that sort of thing way better than this does. It was kind of like, I liked the way the movie did it. I felt like it just worked well with what the plot when they were going for, and it felt like it was almost like felt like a throwback sort of thing movie where it was like just an adventure serial where it's like, oh, at the end she sacrifices this for him, and he wants to give him the chance to redeem himself and live the life he never could. And it's like, because he's been so selfless for her the whole throughout, like he's learned to sort of be selfless throughout the movie, and then she learns to not necessarily go for the glory herself, but they still get a pedal anyways, which I didn't really. I got it because it's like they destroyed so much of the cavern that like the moon shined on the tree again. It was like, okay, I guess that makes sense, but it was still kind of like, oh, all right, well, I guess she still gets to get her revolution, I guess, or scientific advances and so on and so forth.
Ultimately, though, I'm not mad at this movie. Like I thought it was gonna be such a waste of time. Like,
yeah,
we'll just be making fun of it the whole time. But no,
I thought
League's better than Doolittle.
Totally. Well, so one thing that I thought was also interesting is like that twist of when he's like turns out he's like an undead person. I felt like if you had told me that before the movie, I would have been like, that's really stupid. But for whatever reason, again, I think it's just the charm of the performances in this movie. They made it work somehow. It's kind of a ridiculous plot point, but for whatever reason, it just totally worked. And I will say, absolutely freaking loved that backstory scene of when they're like that we get from him with the instrumental version of "Nothing Else Matters" by Metallica.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so good. I was like, what? I was like, okay, I recognize this song. I don't know why. And my housemate was like, he's a little bit of he loves metal as well. So he was like, I definitely know what this is, but it's on the tip of my tongue. I just don't know. So when we were going through the credits, we saw it was like "Nothing Else Matters" by Metallica, reimagined by James Newton Howard. And I was like, there it is. So we went and we listened to "Nothing Else Matters," which is a great song. So that was a lot of fun. It was just kind of like, it was an odd tonal thing with like, it felt like, because the rest of the score is kind of like bombastic and trumpets and stuff, and then all of a sudden you have like a classical guitar, and then the drums and the the electric guitar coming in. I was like, this is a choice. They're going for it. They're going for it, and it's working. It's yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I have a note that I don't know what it means. I don't remember this at all. I said, bro moans when he wipes his face alone. Oh yeah.
So he's like that was so weird.
That's a weird scene.
We were me and my housemate were both like, what?
He just like moans by himself.
He's just like,
that was the scene.
I don't know why he did that. It was weird. I don't know. Yeah, it was weird.
Okay, sexual tension. Here for it.
Yeah.
Man. Anything else for Jungle Cruise?
So there was like the thing. I like the kind of like bruh moment between the both of them where he was just like, yeah, I'm into dudes, and that's kind of not a thing that's okay in the 1917. I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That would be something that like early 20th century, that was not something that you could like be open and like honest about, except with people that you were very close to who would protect you like she did. And so I thought that was like a good realistic sort of portrayal of that sort of frustration. And I thought it was good. I was like, good for them for if they're gonna have a character that's like that, I thought they did a good job. He wasn't a stereotype. He was a little foppish, but that's like every high-class British person like that's the stereotype is a high-class British person. It is not a gay person. Mm-hmm. It was just like high-class, oh my goodness, kind of British person. The Bertie Wooster to make a old British the Jeeves and Wooster, like remember Ask Jeeves? Remember that search engine? Mm-hmm. That came from an old like novel series of like Jeeves is a butler to a foppish high class British person.
No, I
And the
did
whole
not.
basically the entire joke of that book series and also comedy series by the BBC starring Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie as Jeeves and Wooster respectively. The whole joke is basically that like the hired help, the butlers, they're way smarter than the people that they're serving, which is fun. It's just kind of a doofy commentary on how silly and stupid like high class British people are. Kind of is the thing. And so that's kind of like the stereotype of like the high class British person of the early 20th century. Oh, goodness me!
All his luggage and stuff. He was chucking all that luggage.
It was like, this is personal property, but it was a funny moment. It was a funny moment, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jungle Cruise, baby.
Jungle Cruise. It was fun. It was a fun ride. It was literally. It felt like a fun ride. It was, yeah.
I think I'm gonna settle on a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
And
all right.
Like going into it, it was like, I can't get higher than a 7.5, but I thought I could get as low as like a 7. But it's like, I think it's, for what it's doing, I think it's better than a lot of the other 7.5s we've had, and hey, it's better than Shrek the Musical in my eyes.
So here's the thing. I came in thinking I was maybe 6.5, maybe 7, because like the whole movie looks like it was filmed on a like, let's be honest, it looks like it was filmed on a sound stage, and like the movie itself, it's not breaking new ground by any means, but you've kind of talked me up a little bit. Like I think I'm gonna give it a 7.5 as well. I
was coming in thinking low as well, but
I was just very entertained. I like really talking about it. I liked it a lot. It's not breaking new ground. The 7.5 is really as high as it could possibly get, though. It's like it's not doing anything revolutionary. It's not I don't even know if it's a good movie, but I had so much fun. It doesn't matter.
Like over time, I could see the score going down, but I don't think it could
easily for me. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go up from here.
In terms of story, they're just retreading a lot of similar threads.
Parts of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The villain also was like, it was kind of like, how does he know all this stuff? I think they sort of explain it in like a throwaway line. Like, it's like, oh, his father was like a researcher and he knows all this stuff. It's like Wilhelm, like King Wilhelm knew all this stuff. I was like, okay. I was like, that's sort of weird, but yeah. It was just like,
but it was just fun.
Yeah, this is a fun ride.
I don't hate it.
I will also, this is one thing I forgot to mention as well. Despite the fact the effects were not as good as we've ever seen, I kudos to them for the interesting designs. So you remember, you think of like the undead pirates in the different pirates movies, so like how they kind of gave unique designs to all of them. They did that in this super well too. You had mud guy who was all muddy. Then you had like the hive guy, Snake Man, and then what was the other one? There was another one too, I think.
No.
You had mud, bees, snakes. There's probably another one I don't remember. All of them, they're cool. They looked cool. I liked how inventive they were with that idea. Oh no, I almost just said bees again. I'm an idiot. I was like, oh, bees. Oh wait, no, wait. It was like, yeah, it was fun. It was a good times.
The Tarqaron score is 7.5, by the way.
Yeah.
So I knew going into, as soon as the movie started, I was in for something I wasn't expecting, because they flipped the world upside down and went into like a magical tree.
Yeah, I was like, I was not expecting that. I guess that was. Yeah.
So, man, tell all your friends, go see Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise, baby.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't expect a whole lot of anything, I think you just have a good time. Turn your brain off for a little bit.
Yeah. Don't think too much about it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sexual innuendo scene when it comes, and when it comes, you'll know it.
Enjoy just how charming and likable that Emily Blunt and The Rock are in this movie, and you'll have a good time. Yeah.
So what video would you recommend our viewers go watch after this?
Go watch our review of Thor. You mentioned it earlier. So Thor, it's a Marvel movie with a romance. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
What romance is better? This one?
Oh, this one. I think this one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because,
I like this one a lot more.
Because in Thor it was purely physical, right? That's what
Basically,
drew her into Thor. It was like, oh, those
that's
abs.
That's what drew her into Thor. And the fact that I guess he was just kind of like, it's like, oh, he's like a foreign guy, and it's like, oh, he's kind of like, he has some heady, he's a different, he looks at the world in a different way. I think that's kind of the thing. And that's like his attraction to her too. It's like, oh, she looks at the world in a different way. She's way smarter than me. She's also beautiful.
But Frank,
and this movie was all about like there was a lot. There was the physical attraction that was going on there. You know, Frank was kind of like,
he's 400 years old. He's been around the block.
Yeah.
But he's been around this little block for a while.
Yeah.
So pants really stuck out.
Yeah.
He said pants so many times. It was like a pants counter.
Hey, pants. Hey, pants. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And like us on Facebook. Tarqaron. TWO. Oh,
yeah.
She is a small child. They love small children. Remember that?